The jury found him not guilty of murder in the shooting of Cyrus Carmack Belton late last night, but the road to that verdict was anything but straightforward. We have team coverage of the Chow case tonight. We begin with our Megan Gagno, who covered this trial from beginning until end. Now, you talked to one of Chow's defense attorneys today. What's the latest here?
Yeah, Brian, I was inside that courtroom for the entire trial, and what happened in that jury room Monday was anything but simple. 3 separate trips back to the judge to ask questions, confusion over the law, and a request to go home that was denied. Nearly 8 hours before 12 people reached a unanimous decision of not guilty.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chi Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty.
It took nearly 8 hours, 3 trips back to the courtroom, and a judge who refused to let the jury go home for the night before a verdict was reached. The jury sat through 3 days of testimony from 15 witnesses before hearing closing arguments Monday morning.
The first thing that occurred to me is the system worked.
But before the jury even started deliberating, both sides spent hours making their final case.
Like the 74-41.
Solicitor Byron Gibson pointing to 4 eyewitnesses from 4 different vantage points, all of whom testified they never saw Cyrus point a gun in May 2023. Gibson also pointed to the physical evidence, reminding jurors that Cyrus ran more than 130 yards, lost a shoe, dropped 2 cell phones, and never once turned around.
As he ran away from Rick Chow and Andy Chow, he died scared.
The defense countered, telling jurors they only heard part of the story all week. Attorney Sean Ken argued the state built its entire case on emotion rather than evidence, and that Rick Chow had a legal right to protect his son.
Think about it. How many times did you hear throughout the course of this trial the great state of South Carolina say the following sentence? They could have done this, they could have done this, they could have done this, they could have done this. They don't have evidence to offer, but they have fear.
Joe McCullough, one of Chow's defense attorneys, says what he thinks ultimately made the difference was the full picture the jury saw inside the courtroom, including nearly 3 hours of testimony from Chow's son, Andy, the only person other than Rick Chow who says he saw Cyrus point a gun.
Both Andy and Mr. Chow told exactly the same version of events. There was no time for them to make up story, to get their stories right, or to get their stories together.
Deliberations began just after noon on Monday. About 3 hours in, the jury came back with a question for Judge Heath Taylor, asking him to clarify the legal definition of malice. Then, just before 6 o'clock, the foreperson asked if the jury could be dismissed for the evening. Judge Taylor said no, citing concerns about the high media attention this case has drawn.
The danger of the jury not being objective and not being pure in relying on the evidence that they hear in the courtroom, not on what's occurring outside of the courtroom, is very real.
This case also has drawn national attention long before deliberation started. Judge Taylor addressed threatening emails sent to attorneys and judges, letting the public know that he would be forwarding them to SLED and asking the public to be respectful. Throughout the 5-day trial, 2 jurors were dismissed, 1 on each of the first 2 days, leaving just 2 alternates. Just after 7 o'clock, the jury requested written copies of the judge's instructions. Taylor agreed, sending 3 copies back with them. At 8:31 Monday night, the jury returned for the final time with the verdict, not guilty. Tonight, Solicitor Byron Gibson released a statement saying he is disappointed with the outcome and continues to believe Rick Chow's actions were not justifiable, but says he respects the jury's decision and is asking the community to respond peacefully. The defense is asking the same.
I think that people should respect a jury who listened, who was presented with all the evidence that the court permitted, who made a decision, and that's where this sad event should end.
Now, the 12-person jury who decided Rick Chow's fate was made up of 3 black men, 2 black women, 3 white women, 2 white men, and 2 jurors of other backgrounds, all who reached a unanimous decision after nearly 8 hours. Now, I asked Solicitor Gibson's office why manslaughter was not an option for a charge, and I'm still waiting for a response. In studio, I'm Megan Gagno, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Rio checking in. Keep on pushing. Quick take. This a little bit more than a quick take, but it's definitely a take. So this past week in my home state of South Carolina, and in a city that, you know, I got a lot of history in Columbia, they just had a murder trial that's got a lot of national attention. The Rick Chow murder case. Rick Chow is the owner of a gas station in Columbia, and him and his son, him and his son, they chased down a 14-year-old boy, and they shot the boy and killed the boy behind allegedly stealing some waters out of the store, which it came out that he didn't take any damn waters. He put the waters back. And y'all already know how, man, look, man. Y'all know Runye, y'all know Rio, like Black Dollars Media, like let's be real. Y'all already know where this video is going. So if you ain't with the shit, you might want to turn now, but don't turn. Listen to what I got to say, because I ain't scared of you, nigga. You don't scare me. Y'all motherfuckers don't scare me. This some bullshit. That motherfucker should have been found guilty of murder. His son should have been found guilty, should have been tried as a fucking accessory to murder. And the wife too. Because all three of them escalated that situation to that. This boy is walking around the store and this bitch is following him around. Like walking behind him and looking at him. Like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I saw Minister Society growing up. And later on, the Wayans brothers spoofed that shit because that shit was so crazy that you had to make a joke out of it, because it's like you're actually following somebody around in the fucking store. And to make the shit even more crazier, the lady in the video, the real life Columbia shit, she looks just like the bitch from Minister Society, which is wild. But the big picture is that y'all shouldn't be working in the black community if you're scared of us, man. If you're scared of a 14-year-old black child, don't open a fucking store in that neighborhood, because we coming. We coming. If you got something that we need, we don't give a fuck what color you is, we coming. In all of our black glory, we coming. So this man chases somebody down the street, shoots and kills him. It's wrong on so many levels. One, it's fucking water. Like, it's water, man. Whatever. Okay. I'm pretty sure he sees this boy on a regular basis, because that's the neighborhood store. And he walked to the store. So you know that he comes in there more than once. So, you know, maybe there was, I'm thinking that the reason that he intentionally did that is because he don't like the little fucking boy. This wasn't his first time seeing him. They didn't have some interactions before, and then this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, all right, I'm sick of this shit. And he might not have had the intentions of shooting him when he first ran out of the door, but shooting a nigga is not a big thing for this man. For this Rick Child dude, shooting a person is not a big thing for him. So the escalation to shooting somebody was rather easy. I'm really mad that the son wasn't tried, because they did that shit together. If you sit and look at the video and you watch what's happening, being a black man, like I'm a grown ass man, that's the shit that I've had to deal with my entire life. Like from the time my first encounter with the police, not first encounter, but it's so many. One of my first encounters with the police, coming from Food Lion, this is in Moncks Corner. There's no longer the Food Lion is not there no more. But coming from Food Lion, walking back home to Francis Villa, it was about 4 or 5 of us. Anytime we would do that type of trip, the police would pull us over and search us. I'm 9 years old. 9, 10 years old. So my friends is about what, maybe the oldest one is 12, maybe. And we're getting stopped and frisked coming from the store. And that's the shit that we had to deal with our entire lives. And from 9 to 40. Okay. Add it up. And you know, this is my experience. So you know that I'm pissed looking at that shit, because now you project your experience onto to what's going on with this young man, and it just like it sets you off. It sets me off. I don't even want to call them Uncle Toms, man, because it's like that shit is such a cliche. You just have fuck niggas who go out of their way to go against the grain. Like that, I mean, That's my philosophy in life, yin and yang. For every action is going to be a reaction. So we have to deal with these people that's in our community that will go out of their way to justify the injustices that we have to suffer. For what reasons, I don't know. I maybe they think they're going to get a reward for it. I will hope that they would stop thinking like that, but you know, that's a whole nother conversation. That's something that you know, the things that you cannot change, you can't really waste your energy with. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, this was pretty much a rant of how I'm pissed that this man was found not guilty. And just another example of, I can't say the system failed. I mean, the system did what the system is going to do. But, you know, it's some shortcomings in there. There's no way in hell that this man is going on, that man should be free today. I don't know what crime. A lot of people suggest and say that he should have been like charged with a manslaughter, and that, you know, South Carolina only has the murder charge that he was given, and like because of the law there were things that could have been done that weren't done. And I hear that, and I mean I agree with it. That's 100% correct, but I think he was guilty of the fucking charge he was got of murder. I think he is guilty of what they charged him with. That shit was malice. That was a malicious intent. My nigga, like, that's fucking water. And you like, the malicious intent comes from your wife, whoever the fuck she was, following his ass around in the store. That shows a prejudice that y'all already have of young black, of people of his that look like him. I want to say young black men, but shit, y'all probably feel the same way about young black women as well. So, you know, that's where the malice come in for me at. When y'all following him around the store, that is establishing that y'all don't fucking like black people. So anything can happen at that point. But, you know, and you can't sit here and say that it's the South, because this shit happens every fucking where, man. It happens everywhere. You just got ignorant motherfuckers, man. Just stupid ass people. Stupid ass people is what is going to be the eventual downfall of mankind. Not the laws, not the politicians, not the whoever you want to blame, not the church. It's going to be your neighbor, the motherfucker that you sit next to every day. His lack of knowledge and his lack of empathy is what's going to be the downfall of mankind, because we dealing with motherfuckers who just, you know, full of shit and fucked up. So as I close, condolences to Cyrus's family, because those, you know, those are the real victims, and that family and that community is going to have to deal with this for the rest of their life. And when all of us done had our little say and move on to the next sad case, because that's what's going to happen. That's what the media do. In a week or two, all us going to be talking about some whole other shit and not even thinking about Cyrus's family and the shit that they having to deal with. My prayers are for y'all, man, and it's really fucked up that y'all got to deal with this type of dumb shit. So, you know, hey, man, fucking America. I'm finished with my rant. Keep on pushing. Black Dollars Media is your boy Rio. Checking out, man, you know, last note, I was looking at another podcaster. I'm going to say his name wrong, but I think it's Deontay Kyle. And he was talking about we need to educate ourselves better and get armed, stay armed. And he is telling the motherfucking truth. But I mean, you know, it's not nothing that the Black Panthers hadn't tried to tell us and teach us in the 60s and 70s. Like, these lessons still apply today. But I don't know what, I don't know. Somebody knows somebody is able to articulate it a little bit better, but the black community has given up. We're just not engaged. I blame it on success. You know, we've came a long way. We've came a long way. And once you feel like you done made it, you get complacent. And the people that's not where you at, you're not concerned with them. They don't care about you. So we got to fix that, people. We got to change that. But I'm out. I got about another 10 minutes that I could have keep going just talking shit. But that ain't what we do here. We got to keep this shit kind of professional and organized. So until the next video, Big Rio is out. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. All right. Be safe out there.